section. Welcome to my live stream section. You are mostly welcome. All right, so let me do the finishing touching. All right, let me reduce the tripod stand. All right, like this is better. So we are going to be doing something very important in chemistry. All right, we are going to be doing something very important in chemistry, and this stuff is something that has been confusing a lot of people when it comes to chemistry, and that is calculations based on mole concept. Calculations that are based on mole concept, and this is where a lot of people used to get it wrong or used to get confusing. I am not perfect when it comes to this particular concept, but I believe using this live stream section, we are going to get better, and you're also going to learn from me. So we are going to be solving questions that are built on mole concept, that are based on mole concept, and we know that one mole of a substance, right? One mole equals to what? 6.02 times 10 raised to the power what? 23, right? Which is known as what? The Avogadro's what? Constant. Because this what? The Avogadro's what? Avogadro's what? Constant. This is known as the what? Avogadro's what? Constant. So this is basically what we are going to be solving today on. We are going to be making sure we solve series of questions. We are going to be making sure we solve series of questions that are based on this particular topic, right? We are going to be solving questions that are based on this particular topic, because I find out that it is a topic that you cannot do without if you are preparing for your JAM. It's a topic you cannot do without if you are preparing for your WAEC, for your GC, for your NECO. As far as you are in Nigeria and you are preparing for any exam, you will get to see this in your chemistry, right? So we are going to be solving questions based on this. So we have the first question on the board. It says the molar mass of oxygen gas. The molar mass. Number one question says the molar mass of oxygen gas, the molar mass of what? Oxygen gas, the molar mass of oxygen gas is A, 16 gram per mole, B, 32 gram per mole, C, 48 gram per mole, and D, 64 gram per mole. They are asking us the molar mass of what? Oxygen what? Gas. The molar mass of oxygen gas. Note that oxygen gas is what? O2. Oxygen gas is what? O or 2. So they're asking us what is the molar mass of this what? Oxygen what? Gas. That is the question they are trying to what? Ask us. Right? So that is the question they are trying to what? Ask us. What is the molar mass of this what? Oxygen what? Gas. A, 16 gram per mole. B, 32 gram per mole. C, 48 gram per mole, and D, what? 64 gram per what? Mole. Solving questions based on molar mass is something that is very interesting. Welcome to my live stream section. I can see you. Watching me live. Thank you so much for joining. Right, so let's go ahead with the questions, right? So the molar mass of oxygen gas is what? 32. The molar mass of oxygen what? Gas is what? 32. Now, this is how we get it, right? What is the atomic mass of what? Oxygen. The atomic mass of what? Oxygen. So let me show you how we get this. We say mass number equals to what? Mass number equals to molar mass. Mass number equals to what? Molar mass. Mass number equals to what? Molar mass times what? Molar mass times mass number equals to molar mass times atomic what? Number, right? So it says molar mass or mass number equals to what? Success Joe, welcome, bro. Welcome to the license section. So to get this, right, you simply say, Success Joe, welcome to the license section. Since oxygen here You understand? Is oxygen what? Gas. What you simply do is say what? 16. Sorry. Let me change this marker. Like I'm not prepared for this class. I'm trying to 16 times what? 2. Right? So 16 times what? 2. 16 times 2 is what? 32. Right? 16 times 2 is what? 32. So that is the what? The molar mass of what? Oxygen what? Gas. That is the molar mass of what? Oxygen gas. I'm going to get something so that I'm trying to get something so that you can really understand where I am going to, so you can really understand what I am trying to say. All right, let me solve number 2 question. From the number 2 question, you will get exactly what I mean, so that from there we'll start flowing. Just give me some minutes. I'm coming. Let me get something inside. Just give me some time. I'm coming. All right, welcome back. I went to get something, so I am back with it. All right, so let's get this. I went to get something inside, so I am back with it. Let's get this particular question. Let's get this particular question. I believe from this question we are going to be flowing. How many moles are there in 88 grams of carbon dioxide? How many moles? How many moles? How many moles are there? How many moles are there in 88 grams of CO2? How many moles are there in 88 grams of what? CO2. We have A, we have 1 mole. B, we have 2 moles. C, we have 0.5 moles. And D, we have what? 4 moles. How many moles are there in 88 grams of CO2? I hope you can see the board clearly. Yes, you can see the board. How many moles are there in what? 88 grams of what? CO2. What we are looking for is the what? The number of what? Moles. What we are looking for is the what? Number of what? Moles. The formula, like I said, the formula is given as what? Mass number. Please take note. This is the formula. The formula equals to what? Mass number equals to what? Number of moles times molar mass. That is the formula. I made a mistake the first time. So it's not the word molar mass. We are not looking for the word mass number. What we are looking for is the word number of what? Moles. And to get this is very, very what? Easy. So we substitute the word value. But before then, you have to get the word molar mass of what? Carbon dioxide. You have to get the molar mass of what? Carbon dioxide. So to get molar mass is very, very what? Simple. What you simply do is to get, let's say, solve for molar mass. Please follow me. Let's say solve for molar mass. So mm equals to molar mass. So let's solve for molar mass of CO2. To get this, it's simply say C plus 2 times what? O. C plus 2 times what? O. Right? So the atomic mass of what? Carbon. Right? The atomic mass of carbon is what? Is what? 16. So we say 12 plus 2 times 16. Sorry, 2 times 16, right? So plus what? Sorry, we are back. So we have been able. Sorry, we are back. So we have been able to get the what? The molar what? Mass, which is what? 44. What's up now? Come inside and get it. We have been able to get the what? Molar mass, which is what? 44. But the question there, they are not asking us about the molar what? Mass. They are asking us about the number of what? Moles. They say how many moles are there in 88 grams of what? CO2. Since we have gotten the molar mass, what we simply do is to substitute the what? Value. Right? Knowing that, okay, our molar mass here, our mm equals to what? 44. Right? So let's substitute the value. Let's substitute the word value. So the mass number that has already been given, the mass number that's already been given is what? 88, right? equals to the number of moles is not what? Known, times the molar mass, which is what? 44. Right? To get this is as easy as what? ABC. For we to get this, you simply say what? 44. Right? You divide both sides by the what? Coefficient. You divide both sides by the what? Coefficient. You say this is what? 44, 44. And you say what? 44. So 44 here will cancel 44 to give us 1 times number of moles is number of moles. So 88 now, right? So it's going to be what? 88. Please, I want this class to be very interactive. Let's make it interactive. So all of us, if there's any way you have a question, please make sure you drop it immediately. You understand? So all of us are going to follow. All right. If there's any way you have question, please make sure you drop it. So this will cancel itself, right? Now 88 divided by 44, right, is going to be what? 2. 88 divided by 44 is going to be what? 2, right? So now let's see how many moles are there in 88 grams of what? CO2. A, 1 mole. B, 2 mole. C, 0.5 mole. And D, 4 moles. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is what? B, which is what? 2 moles. The correct answer there is what? B, which is what? 2 moles. This is how we solve questions that are based in what? Moles, molar mass, mass number. This is how we get it. It's as easy as this, right? So we have a lot of questions here that we are going to also be tackling, right? So say how many moles are there? This is what? 2 what? Moles. Let's solve another question. Please note the formula. This is the main thing. The moment you know this formula, even though I just give a question, you are going to solve it immediately. The formula is what? Mass number equals to number of moles times molar mass. If you know this formula, you will be able to solve any question that is based on what? Moles. Calculation that is based on what? Moles. Actually, I didn't know much about this particular topic. I didn't know much about this particular topic, like this particular concept. But when I went through jam past questions, I started seeing questions based on moles. That was what drew my interest. Like, if there is going to be plenty question on moles, that means this mole is going to be something that is very, very important. And I got to find out that moles is part of what? Stoichiometry. And stoichiometry is something you cannot run away from when it comes to chemistry, right? So let's solve another question. It says the number of moles in 24 grams of carbon. The number of moles, let's do this again. The number of moles in 24 grams, the number of moles in 24 grams of carbon is a 1 mole. Sorry, the number of moles, I think that is what we just did now. Excuse me. Okay, sorry. 1 mole, that is not what we did. 1 mole. B, 2 moles. C, 0.5 moles. And D, 3 what? Moles. How many moles? Well, the number of what? Moles. The number of what? Moles in 24 grams of carbon is A, 1 mole. B, 2 moles. C, 0.5 moles. And D, 3 moles. Let's see what we can do. Can anybody drop the answer in the comment section? Just substitute the value and let's see if you can get the answer. Just substitute the value. Let's see. Let's substitute any answer. Let's wait for the next 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's do something, right? Let's do something. The number of moles in 24 grams of carbon, number of moles, we have mass number equals to what? Number of moles times what? Molar mass. Number of moles times what? Molar what? Mass. What is the mass number that has been given? 24 grams. Number of moles unknown. The molar mass of carbon is 12. The molar mass of carbon is 12. Divide both sides by the coefficient 24. The answer is what? 2. That is just how it is. The answer is just for 2. There's nothing much. You just have to substitute the values. You understand? Using your formula, just substitute the value, and that is how you get it. Right? So let's hit up on another one. From here, gradually, we start moving to the complex one. Please subscribe. I'm going to be making a video soon. After the moment we end this lesson section, I'm going to be making a video on how you can be able to name organic compounds. So if you have been having problem naming organic compounds, then the next video I'm about to drop, I will make the video today. Then you might likely see it in the next 2 days or 3 days. That will be either on a Friday. Please make sure you subscribe so that you will not miss out. I'm going to make that video to be as detailed as possible. Meanwhile, let's focus on how we can be solving questions that is based on moles, because this topic is very, very important. Students don't know this topic when it comes to topic like this. Empirical formulas, relative atomic mass, this is where people used to find it very, very difficult. Relative molecular mass, this is where people used to find it very difficult in chemistry, right? Dalton's law of partial pressure, Gay-Lussac law. I'm going to be solving all those very soon. I'm going to be making a separate video on them when I get to kinetic energy of matter. Where we'll talk about the change of state of matter. Then from there, I'm going to move on to the Dalton's law of partial pressure. So I will be making a video on them. So make sure you hit on the red subscribe button. Please subscribe so that you will get updates anytime I will just drop it. You'll be among the first people to watch the video. Now, the next question is, calculate the mass of 2 moles of water. Calculate the mass of 2 moles of H2O. H2O is what? Water. We have A. Calculate the mass of 2 moles of what? Water. We have A, 18 gram, B, 36 gram, C, 9 gram, and D, 12 gram. The answer is already on the board. I can see the answer right away. Calculate the mass of 2 moles of what? Water, using the formula that mass number equals to what? Number of moles times what? Molar mass. Number of moles times what? Molar mass. Right, Joe, are you the one still online? I can see Joe and I can see another person. I believe that is going to be Joe. Thank you so much for watching. All right, calculate the mass of 2 moles of what? Water. The first thing you have to do is to solve for the molar mass of the compound that has been given. So we have water here, we have to solve. So it's a solution. Solve for molar mass of water. Solve for molar mass of H2O. Solve for molar mass of what? H2O. What is the atomic mass of what? Hydrogen. The atomic mass of hydrogen is what? 1. But at this point in time, this hydrogen has for 2 moles, right? 2 molecules attached to it. So you say what? So let's solve. We say H times 2 plus what? 0. That is what? Oxygen, right? H times 2 plus what? Oxygen. So you say 1 times 2 plus what? 16. 1 times 2 plus what? 16. 1 times 2 is still 2. 2 plus 16 is what? 18. Right? 2 plus 16 is going to be what? 18. Now the expression is calculate the mass of 2 moles of what? Water. So what we have been given, the number of moles, and we have also been given the what? Molar what? Mass. So it's a mass number is going to be equals to the number of moles there is what? 2. What is the molar mass? Is what? 18. The molar mass there is what? 18. Right? So what you simply do, you say what? 2 times what? 18. That is what is expected of you. You say what? 2 times 18, which is going to give us what? 36 what? Gram. 2 times 18 give us what? 36 what gram. So you say the mass number here, the mass number equals to what? 36. We say the mass number equals to what? 36. And when you check here at the option, see what? A 18, B 36, C 9, and what? 12. The correct answer is what? 36 what? Gram. That is the mass of 2 moles of what? Water. This particular aspect is simple, but gives people what? Issue, right? That is why I am here to break it what? Down. Right? It says calculate the mass of 2. I hope people can see the board clear. Calculate the mass of 2 moles of what? Water. The answer is what? 36 what? Gram. Let's move ahead to the next question. The next question there says, how many atoms are there? Excuse me, I think there's no option here. Let's see where I have an option, because the option directs me on how to go about my solving. Let's see. Okay. How many atoms are there in 2 moles of what? Helium. How many atoms are there? How many atoms? How many atoms are there in 2 moles of helium? Drop the answer in the comment section. Let me see. How many atoms? How many atoms? How many atoms are there? How many atoms are there in 2 moles of what? Helium. How many atoms are there in 2 moles of what? Helium. That is a question on the board. How many atoms are there in 2 moles of what? Helium. There is no option. At this particular point in time, there is no what? Option. So let's see what Joe. Joe, are you active? Let's see what we can do there. How many atoms are there in 2 moles of what? Helium. How many atoms are there in 2 moles of what? Helium. So let's try to do something. Let's try to do something. Let's try to do something. Mass is, just pay attention, I want to show you something. Mass number equals to number of moles. Sorry. Mass number equals to number of moles. Mass number equals to number of moles times what? Molar mass. Right? Number of moles times the what? Molar what? Mass. Now note something. 1 mole. A mole is equals to what? Atom. A mole is also equals to what? Atoms. Right? Mole is also equals to what? Atom. Take note of this. Moles. 1 mole is also equals to what? Atom. So let's see how we can get this. How many atoms are there in 2 moles of what? Helium? What you simply do is to bring in the what? Avogadro's what? Constant. Yeah. What we simply do is to bring in the what? Avogadro's constant. We simply say what? 2 times what? 6.02 times 10 raised to the power 23. Whatever answer you have here, that is the number of atoms that are present in 2 moles of what? Helium. Whatever answer you have there, when you calculate 2 times 6.02 times 10 raised to the power 23, that is the what answer you have there based on it. So if you want to check it, the answer is what? 1.2044 times 10 raised to the power times 10 raised to the power 24. So that to the next question here on the list. We have some questions that we are going to use to keep ourselves busy. Nothing much in there. The next question is which of the following contains the greatest number of atoms? Which of the following contain the greatest number of what? Atom? which of the following contains the greatest number of what atom? We have A, 1 mole of sodium. That's for A. What's wrong with all this marker now? We have A, 1 mole of sodium. We have B, 1 mole of hydrogen. We have C, 1 mole of oxygen. And we have D, all contain the same number of what? Moles. 1 mole of sodium, which of them is the greatest? Which of them is the greatest? 1 mole of sodium, 1 mole of hydrogen, 1 mole of oxygen, and D all contains the same number of what? Moles. The question is, which of these is the greatest? Which of them is the biggest? The correct answer there is what? Option what? D. The correct answer there is what? Option what? D. All of them are the same. 1 mole of a substance, 1 mole of a substance, 1 mole equals to what? 6.02 times 10 raised to the power 23. And this is what we call the what? Avogadro's constant. The Avogadro's what? Constant. The Avogadro's constant. So all of them are the same. Be it 1 mole of nitrogen, 1 mole of fluorine. Please note they are what? The same. They all contain the same number of moles. And the same number of moles is what? 6.02 times 10 raised to the power what? 23. Now the next question is, what is the mass of 3 moles of oxygen gas? Let's go. We have a very sweet question here now. The next question here says, what is the mass of 3 moles of oxygen? Right, so let's see the mass of 3 moles of what? Oxygen. The mass of 3 moles of what? Oxygen. The mass of 3 moles of what? Oxygen. We have A, 48 gram, B, 64 gram, C, 96 gram, and D, 32 what? Gram. The mass of 3 moles of what? Oxygen. What is the what? Answer. Knowing fully well that I already gave you the what? Formula, right? Knowing fully well that I gave you the formula that the mass number, excuse me, we say what? Mass number equals to what? Number of what? Moles times what? Molar mass. The number of moles times what? Molar what? Mass. The mass number here is not what? Given. Mn is not what? Given. The number of moles here is 3. What is the molar mass of what? Oxygen? That is a what? Question. What is the molar mass of what? Oxygen? The molar mass of oxygen is what? 16. The molar mass of oxygen is what? 16. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. I want to say something now that will get people confused. Right? So just pay attention. Let me get something. Let me get something. Now pay attention, pay attention. See something. The beginning of this class, I said something that I made a very big mistake in the beginning of this class. Let's clean this. The molar mass of oxygen is 16. But the molar oxygen gas, that is O2, right? What you do here, you simply say this is oxygen gas, which is what? O2. I don't know how you can get this explanation, but it is playing in my head. Like I'm trying to see how I can put it so that you can easily get to understand this. This is simply saying 16 times what? 2. The mass number, you understand? The mass number of oxygen. The mass number of oxygen. I don't know how I can get this. is 16 times 2, which is what? 32. So when you want to apply it here, the mass of 3 moles of oxygen is not going to be 3 times 16, rather it's going to be 3 times 32. So you get the answer. 3 times 32 is going to give us, this is 6, this is 9. So this is what? 96 what? Gram. And if you check the option, you'll get to see what? 96 what? Gram. I don't know how to explain this better, but chat me up on WhatsApp. The answer is what? 96 what? Gram. Chat me on WhatsApp on 070-6246-2746 so I can get to enroll in our class, our online class, and you can easily get this explanation deep, so that when I know how to package this word, you can easily get the word explanation. So we still have some questions. So I think we have like 3 questions left. Please subscribe so that you will get notified. I want to, the moment we end this live stream section, I'm going to start shooting videos on how you can be able to name organic compounds. How to name organic compound. That is the next video I'm about to shoot. So if you are someone that's been finding it very difficult to name organic compounds, then this video I'm about to shoot next is going to be a very good lifesaver. Okay, we have calculate the mass of 0.5 moles of water. Calculate the mass of 0.5 mole of H2O. We have A, 9 gram, B, 18 gram, C, 36 gram, and D, 6 gram. Calculate the mass of 0.5 moles of what? Water. Calculate the mass of 0.5 moles of what? Water. Right, let's see how we can be able to what? Get this question. Calculate the mass of what? 0.5 mole of what? Water. So like I said, first of all, you have to get the what? The molar what? Mass. You have to get the what? Molar mass. Oxygen here is what? 16. Hydrogen here is 1. Because it's 2, is what? 2 times what? 2. So sorry, it's going to be 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 16 is what? 18. So the molar mass here is what? 18. So the mass, what we are looking for is what? Mass. Right? Say mass. We are looking for the mass number. It's equal to the number of moles. The number of moles is what? 0.5 times what? 18. So 0.5 times 18, what is it going to give us? That is our what? Answer. 0.5 times 18. We have 0.5 times what? 18. Right? Our answer there on the board is what? Option what? A, which is what? 9 grams. So I believe with this live stream section, you can be able to solve questions that are relating to mole concepts. There is nothing difficult when it comes to mole concepts apart from what I have done here. These are the kind of questions you'll be seeing. They'll be telling you to look for mass number. They'll be telling you to look for number of moles. They'll be telling you to look for molar mass, right? So that is just how you can be able to get questions that is relating to what mole concept. If you find this video helpful, please make sure you hit on the red subscribe button, and also comment, share this video to your friends so they can come here and get value. Subscribe so that you get notified when I start dropping questions, or when I start, I've started my past question series already. So I'll be dropping past questions like that on a series based on topic by topic. I'm also going to show you how you can be able to balance chemical equations in a different video. I'm also going to show you how you can be able to name organic compounds, how you can solve questions based on Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac law, Dalton's law of partial pressure, and a lot more. Electrolysis. These are all the topics I'll be treating soon on this channel. So if you find it helpful, make sure, or if you know that you want to actually pass your exam, if you want to score high when you see questions based on this topic, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching my live stream section to this very point, and until I see you in my next video, always remember that you're wonderful, always remember that you're unique, and always remember that you're a pace setter. I really love you. Thank you.